My product balances hormone? No. Repairs skin damage? No. Detoxifies the skin? No. Boosts circulation? No. No such cosmetic product can do that. One of the trickiest parts of cosmetic development is product claiming. The statement that you will make about your product can make or break your marketing. If you don't want to get yourself in some potential serious regulatory trouble, pay close attention. In this video, I will break down which claim will automatically turn your product into a drug, how to substantiate your claims properly, and a real example of claims that have put some brands in big trouble. The most important distinction that you need to grasp is the fine line between cosmetic and drugs claims. So for a cosmetic product, what is allowed? Well, anything that focuses on how a product affects the appearance of the skin. For example, improve the appearance of fine lines, help the skin look more radiant, reduce the visible sign of aging, moisturize dry skin, or last example, help diminishing the appearance of dark spots. On the other hand, drugs suggest that your product can change bodily function or structure. You can see the difference between this and improve the appearance of fine lines. Or if your product treats acne, well, it's not a cosmetic anymore, it's a drug. Another drug claim is, for example, if you state that your product can reduce inflammation. That will mean that your product can affect the body function. Other example is increase collagen production or heals damaged skin. We can see that the difference can be really subtle, and sometimes it's just a few words that can make the difference and push your cosmetic product into the drug category. And be careful, because regulators do not miss this distinction, so neither should you. And what can be a little bit complicated to manage when you are at the beginning of your cosmetic product journey is that depending on the region, the rules are different for product claiming. For example, to launch a product in the US, you probably know that the regulatory authority is the FDA. And what they focus more is to prevent drug claiming if you are developing a cosmetic product. As a reminder, to launch in the US, you don't need a pre-approval for your cosmetic product. However, that doesn't mean that if your product doesn't follow the compliance regulation, they will not knock at your door and pursue legal actions. So to launch in the US, be really careful about not attributing a drug claim to your cosmetic product. To launch a product in Europe, you probably know that the regulation is way more stricter than for the US. And there is more specific regulation regarding claims. There are actually 6 common criteria that all claims should meet: legal compliance, truthfulness, evidential support, honesty, fairness, and informed decision making. And actually, there is a really complex regulation around free-form claims. For example, free-form substance X. It's a whole other topic, and I will make a specific video regarding that. But just to sum up in a few words, if you are using free-form claims, your product should not mislead or be deceptive to your consumers, and you should not be unfair to your competitors. That's just a little tease. I will develop more in the other video. And by the way, I have put in the description the PDF that states the rule about claim substantiation. So if you want to geek out, please do. I often talk about Europe or US, but keep in mind that there are other markets, right? Like Australia, Canada, or Asia that have their own regulatory and specific requirements. So don't forget to always research regulatory compliance before entering in a new market. You have probably heard me talk about claim substantiation. What does it mean? It just means that whatever the claim that you make, you need to back them up with real concrete evidence. Yes, it is a legal requirement. What are the different types of substantiation? Well, scientific literature. If you use an ingredient which benefits have been published in scientific literature, either on preclinical models or during clinical studies, that's something that can help you with your claim substantiation. What can help you also is consumer perception studies. They are basically surveys from users that have used your product and that can make a self-assessment, like filling out a questionnaire or taking before and after pictures. And third, the one that will give you data regarding your formulation ingredient is ingredient-based substantiation. The level of substantiation of a product depends on the boldness of your claims. The stronger the claim, the stronger the evidence needs to be. A few examples: if you're just mentioning that your product contains shea butter, you will just need documentation regarding your product, an analysis that proves that there is shea butter in your product. If we push the complexity a little bit more, if your claims is moisturize the skin, data regarding the ingredient may be sufficient, because we know that some ingredients, such as hyaluronic acid, there is already a lot of scientific paper regarding these ingredients that prove that it moisturizes the skin. A little bit further, 95% of users saw improved skin texture. Well, here you will need to do a consumer study. And finally, if you claim that your product helps reducing the appearance of fine lines by 27%, you will need to do a clinical studies with volunteers. Always keep your claim substantiation document in your business record file because you will need to put them in your PIF. So let me give you some example of claims that will put you in real trouble. So as I said, especially in US, but it's the same in Europe, if you claim that your cosmetic product has drug claims, you're done. Like for example, my product balances hormone? No. Repairs skin damage? No. Detoxifies the skin? No. Boosts circulation? No. Other type of claims that will make you a target for regulatory authorities is exaggerated claims, like erase all sign of aging. Come on. Or like instant transformation. No such cosmetic product can do that. Or for example, if you tend to have a comparative claim, such as better than Botox, can you prove it? Or works better than product X. Same, you will have to do comparative testing. And I'm quite sure that even if you have the data, it's not something that you can do. Let's come to the problematic free-from claims. I will just give you a few examples. I will not go into much detail. As I said, I will do another video just about that. But if you claim that your product is non-toxic, that would mean that the other cosmetic products are toxic, and it is quite unfair to your competitors and a little bit misleading for your consumers. Same, if you say that your product is chemical-free, I mean, all ingredients are chemicals. So use maybe qualifier words such as helps, induces, can, may, appears to keep your claims more reasonable. Always match your claims with evidence, right? Claim substantiation, and keep a claim library and document everything. You can, for example, maintain a document of pre-approved substantiation claims, like for example, the PIF checklist tool that I have developed and that is available on my website, cosmeticlabs.com. I have dedicating in this tool a table just for claim substantiation to gather all the data that you will obtain and any change made on your product. It's better to make modest claims that you can support than bold claims that will get you in trouble. When in doubt, consult a regulatory expert. Claim substantiation is just one section of the 5 big sections that you need to understand in order to fill your PIF. If you want to know more, check this video.